I'm gonna just let y'all read the screen. Matter of fact, I forgot. Some of y'all can't read. Y'all illiterate. Let me read it to y'all. My screen currently says Diddy's Miami home had over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant, among other, quote, various freak-off supplies, police documents reveal. Now, I don't know what the hell the police documents they're talking about, and they don't give a source. Like, when you scroll down, there's no article or anything, quote tweeted by them. But dog, if this is true, like, this is some of the funniest shit ever. So you telling me this nigga went to the store, he went to the baby oil, the baby oil section, he went, yo, I want all of that. People in the stores probably like, yo, what the fuck you need so much baby oil in there? Baby oil for? Don't worry about that. they was in the store like, oh yeah, which baby oil you want? He was like, I'll take that. Nigga shit, I want all the oil. I want all the baby oil. I want to make sure that when I'm in that room, in that freak off, I want to make sure that I'm slipping and sliding around the room with maximum efficiency. You feel me? And then he did a dance move, and then he did a spin, and then like when he was doing a spin dance move, like the baby oil was radiating off of his body, and like the droplets were going everywhere, and then the tutis was over there with their mouth open, like it was probably some dudes in there like with their mouth open, trying to get all the baby oil like in their mouth, trying to see like what flavor is Diddy flavor. He was trying to get a taste of Diddy flavor. Nigga was radiating. Imagine, I don't want to be in a room, but like, that's just a funny thought to think of. Like, imagine you're in a Diddy freak off. Like, let's say I'm walking down the street and I trip over a car or something like that, and I fly across the street and end up in a Diddy party, right? And imagine I just look up and then Diddy standing over me with baby oil on his dad's chest, just reflecting, and that bitch blind me. Like, the nigga just do like this in a baby oil. The light from like the freaky ass tiki torches glistens off of his baby oil chest, and it just hits me directly in my eye, and I go, ah! I'm blinded. Diddy took my sight. Wait, what is that I feel in my back? Oh no, Diddy took my cheeks. Yo, Diddy just a thief. That nigga Diddy was taking everything. But hey, if he was really a sexual predator like they say, good thing that nigga got arrested. But I'm just saying, it's just funny to come up with scenarios in my head. And I feel like I just be wanting to share those sometimes. Like, just imagine you, like I said, you trip over, I don't know, a concrete block, and you roll down the street and roll into Diddy's yard by mistake, and he tries to help you up, or somebody in the Diddy party tries to help you up, and then when they help you up, you accidentally look at their shiny, glistening nipple that's just dripping baby oil, and it blinds you. Just a light hits your eye in a perfect way to where it takes your eyesight permanently. That would be a crazy story. Like, yo, why is it I knew you all your life and I only started seeing you wearing glasses and seeing like the last 2 years? Yeah, man, 2 years ago, I tripped over a spider and I ended up in a Diddy party, and you know, one thing led to another. Somebody's nipple gave me eye surgery and now I can't see. Like, skirt, wait, run that back. You fell into a what now? Like, that's some funny shit to think of. But some not so funny shit to think of. I more so wanted to bring this up for all my FGC folk watching. The Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection has not released physically, and it will not be releasing physically till November. Like, that's the first thing I wanted to bring up, because I saw a lot of people playing it, and I was thinking like maybe I'll get the physical in a couple weeks, and then I found out like, nah, can't get that shit till November. That's 2 months away or a month away, I think. September, October, November. So yeah, that's a month away. We have to wait another month for this collection to come out that everybody's already playing, and I just hope and pray that when it does come out, all the sweats are already in like the top ranks, so I could get a couple matches out playing like Spider-Man, Cyclops, Cable, and I could just cheese the brakes off of people and be the low tier rank hero that I want to be. I just want to pub stomp and have fun. You know, maybe every once in a while get challenged, but I mostly want to pub stomp and have fun. That being said, though, I saw this article and the headline really caught my eye. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection physical release has good news for Nintendo Switch fans. Now, what I hope, because I already seen the headline and the subline, which is the game's physical version will not be a code in a box release, which for those of you who don't buy many Switch games, which is the majority of people who like actually play games, don't buy a lot of Switch games. But yeah, Nintendo Switch has this weird thing where instead of giving you a fucking cartridge in a box, they'll give you like for the Mega Man collection, for example, they give you Mega Man, let's say 1 on a cartridge and then to download 2 and 3, just as an example. I don't remember if that's exactly how it went, but as a general example, let's say you'll get Mega Man 1 on a cartridge, but to get Mega Man 2 and 3, let's say the collection had Mega Man 1, 2, and 3. To get 2 and 3, you would have to redeem a code instead of it just being on the cartridge, knowing good and goddamn well that those cartridges could fit made probably half of the Mega Man library. So that's like a thing that upsets people. And one thing I was hoping and praying is that because these games are so small in file size, that they will all in their entirety be able to fit on in the collection. And this article, I guess, is confirming that, but I haven't read it. MVC Fighting Collection Arcade Classics received a digital release on PS4 and Nintendo Switch, which, by the way, it releasing on PS4 means you can also play it on PS5 because backwards compatibility, just in case y'all didn't know. PS4 and Nintendo Switch last week, but there's a lot of people holding out for 2 more months. Yeah, that's me. I'm niggas. It doesn't release to the end of November, so that's basically 2 months. That's because the games for physical release won't happen until November 22nd. Yep, that's what I was talking about. There are a lot of people that prefer physical releases, especially video game collectors and those that worry about game preservation. This is a fact, because if you're not part of the fighting game community and you're really not sure why people are clamoring and sweating and fighting for a Marvel vs. Capcom re-release, is because when it was originally released, it was in arcades and it got ported to Dreamcast and PS2. A lot of people in the community don't like the PS2 version because it was a air quote bad port because of the balance changes and things of that nature. Balance changes made some of the moves like act differently, and it changed a lot of combos and synergy and stuff like that, versus the arcade version. Like, you got to keep in mind, at the time, consoles had a hard time emulating arcade technology because technology wasn't as good as it is now. So it was harder to get that to make it work on the cheaper hardware. So often they had to remake the game basically to be able to work and run on these weaker pieces of hardware versus the arcade versions or versus near arcade ports that work damn near like the arcade version. That's why the Dreamcast version is praised, because the arcade version and the Dreamcast version are damn near 1-to-1. It's a couple quality of life features in there, like being able to play with volume sliders and some training mode settings. But other than like minor stuff like that, it's basically the same thing as if you played in an arcade, especially balance wise and matchmaking wise. And especially with the age of the Dreamcast, it's just infinitely easier to like hack and mod stuff on the Dreamcast. So there's also that. But since the PS3 in around 2011, that's the last time the game was legally released physically. Well, not legally released physically. That's the last time the game was obtainable by purchase, and due to like some rights issues, the game got delisted. So if you bought the game and you wanted to play the game, you couldn't re-download it. If you bought the game and you wanted to play the game, and let's say you deleted it off your console to make space for other games, you wouldn't have been able to re-download the game because it was delisted. So there was no download. It's basically the same situation as Flappy Bird or PT. If you deleted it off your console, GG's. And people who had consoles that still had it weren't like making a bunch of money like with fucking Flappy Bird and PT, but still, it was devastating. So people and the FGC really want to, like me, really want to get this physically, so Capcom can't take this away from us again if there's ever a rights issue or like any copyrights and licenses expire and they have to take the game down. Because for those of you who aren't familiar, if let's say a game has 700 licenses in it, just as an example, let's say a game has 700 licenses in it, and let's say 699 of those licenses that they have in a game are still valid and they still have the right to use or the right to use or sell any material that has those characters or IP properties in it. If one, like I said, 699 they have the right to use, but one property from some niche song, and let's say the training mode menu, no, not even that, let's say in a pause menu for your settings for like turning down the volume and stuff like that, let's say the song in that menu was a licensed song and the rights to use that song expires, they now have to take down the full game just because one IP license expired, which is just saddening and devastating sometimes to see stuff like that actually happen. Anyway, let's keep reading a little bit. However, a lot of fans started to get concerned last week before there were reports that the Nintendo Switch version will be a code-in-a-box release, meaning the only difference between a physical and digital would be the plastic case. Which, I mean, is cool and all, but it's kind of pointless. It's like, and it's not even on some, we must save the earth. It's more like, yo, you're kind of killing a tree for no reason, because think about it. If I wanted to buy the code, why would I get up, walk to the store, and pay for a box with a bunch of funny numbers in it? That's a whole big, large waste of time when I could just buy the game digitally, connect my credit card or debit card onto like the whatever respective store and just buy it like that. Like it's kind of purposeless and it kind of doesn't make sense. Oh, and also the online for this, each of them are quarantined. So like if you play on PC, you won't be able to play with Switch players, which is also annoying because then you and your friends got to coordinate what version of the game y'all all gonna buy. It's just stressful, man. I think with many fans noticing that they're a waste of plastic, see, right? On one hand, they can be helpful for people who want to give games as gifts, but the Switch community, if I wanted to give a game as a gift, I could just do that inside the actual store. While some video games collectors have argued that physical releases are out, no, there's literally no video game collector arguing this. They're not outdated or like a practice that no longer happens. They happen plenty of the time. Now, if you want to say they aren't getting as much love and respect as before, because like before, like physical releases used to be the secondary way that games were released. They were primarily released physically, but past Marvel are outdated. Marvel vs. Capcom fighting a collection is a really good example of, one second, of why they're perfect. Yeah, because once you buy the game, you own the game forever. The only thing that can stop you from owning that game is basically if somebody takes a disc and they snap it over their knee. Past Marvel vs. Capcom, such as 2012 Marvel vs. Capcom Origins, have been delisted over the years. Delisted games can still be played by those who purchased them, but it makes it impossible to get them on the secondary market, and there are concerns about what can happen when digital storefronts go offline, having physical release products against that potential loss, which is another part of it I forgot. If it gets delisted, that messes with video games preservation, because even with the Xbox 360 storefront shutting down, there are a lot of games that were trapped in that storefront that never got ported, that will never like be played again, and that are just lost media to time unless somebody backed it up on a hard drive somewhere. And I'm not talking about like bigger games like the Xbox 360 version of, let's say, COD or something like that. I'm talking about random smaller games that nobody remembers. Or even like the whole situation with the Scott Pilgrim versus the World situation where everybody was rushing to buy that. Anyway, on to the next quick little article. Team Asobi wanted Astrobots cameos to encourage kids to go back and play the classics. So when is Sony gonna let that happen? This article I found interesting because it kind of links back into the other article. Yeah, I'm not gonna watch that because I haven't beat Astrobot. Astrobot is two things at once. And wait, let me zoom in so it's easier for y'all to see how much I can zoom in. Okay, that's good. Astrobot is two things at once. In the first instance, that's probably just going to be going off of what it is. Off the bat, I'd understand if you felt that this just feels like one big expensive ad for the console. This is basically their Smash Bros, so I wouldn't be mad at that part. Well, actually, I would kind of argue against it being one big ass ad, because like in Smash, they specify what each character is, and they'll tell you in game what game each of these characters come from. In Astrobot, you kind of just gotta understand the reference. They don't directly tell you what they are. Like even when you unlock characters in the game, they don't give them their exact name. They'll make a reference to them. Like for example, when you unlock the bot skin that's clearly Crash Bandicoot, it doesn't directly call him Crash Bandicoot. It said, I forgot what it says, but they basically they said something about him being a naughty dog. So they have no problem referencing a character's origin, but they don't directly tell you the name of the character. So I would argue if this was supposed to be an ad, it's kind of not a good ad, because they don't even tell you what game these characters come from. You kind of just already got to know, because even in my playthrough, if you go and watch it, you know, it's on this channel somewhere. If you go, actually it'll probably be in the playlist linked at the end of the video. But if you watch my playthrough of Astrobot, you'll see there's a lot of times where I'm looking at characters and I'm like, yo, who the fuck, like, who is this? Because they don't directly tell you what the character is. So if you don't know what game they come from, this showed up, drop them, because you ain't gonna know, and you probably don't care. But off the bat, which literally, particularly considering your whole aim is to repair your spaceship, which is literally a PS5. And there are even some levels themed around specific iconic PlayStation games, which is true, because one of the latest specialty layers I got to was a God of War 2018 reference. And there was even another level that had that was Ape Escape inspired, where you had to catch a bunch of different apes, literal apes, because YouTube hates whenever you make references to apes or monkeys. They'll swear to God you're being racist even if you're not. But there's a level where you had to basically play Ape Escape in Astrobot, where they'll recreate experiences of other iconic PlayStation games, which is something I really enjoy. But you kind of gotta already know or be familiar with the material in order to like understand the references, because they don't tell you. Like Smash, they straight up tell you. And they tell you what game they come from and what console it's on and all that in some cases. This game, you just got to understand what the reference is. You just got to peep the reference. You just got to scope the scenery out. And there are even, but playing it, how the fuck you going to start a sentence with but? But playing it, Astrobot feels a lot more sincere than that. It does. And you can feel the love that was put into it from Team Asobi. It's clear everyone there loves all the games that make an appearance in Astrobot, especially when paired with some behind the scenes videos PlayStation put out talking to the devs themselves. Not gonna watch that. There's one specific episode that drew my attention, the third one, which focuses on the cameos themselves, where Team Asobi's studio director, Nicolas Duche, had this to say. One of the hopes we have is that the young generations will come across these special characters and then will be inspired to go off to these older games and actually try them for themselves. Which, like I said, it's not really a thing that I think can be taken in good faith, because you don't tell us what games these characters are from. So how the hell am I going to look them up? And also, something I assume they're going to get into, not a lot of these games are easy to obtain without emulation. It's a comment I wholeheartedly agree with, especially because of how much modern games live service games just want to keep you occupied with busy work to take your money with battle passes and microtransactions. Yeah, basically they want you to log in every day and do your dailies. One of the most annoying concepts in games. Yes, I know I sound out of touch. You can jog on. He said, yeah, I can already feel you calling me an unk, but I don't care. I stand on what I say. There's just a small problem. Plenty of them aren't even playable on modern consoles, which is a fact. We're somewhat lucky that there are a number of classic titles available through PlayStation Plus, such as Jak and Daxter series or Ratchet & Clank, but only the former has actual ports you can buy on PS4 for say. The latter you have to stream from the cloud. Still, while imperfect, at least you can play the original Ratchet & Clanks, but what about all the games that aren't on there? Take, for example, very niche Devil Dice. Yeah, I don't know what the hell Devil Dice is. Let me look that up. Search Yeah, I've never heard of this game. Let's see. Devil Dice sales. Price charting, no. Dang, I forgot what's that website where you could look at the sales of older games. But like, yeah, this is a PlayStation 1 game, and I don't know what the fuck. Like, I've never seen this game a day in my life. Let me look up some gameplay real quick. That might jog a memory or something like that. No, not obscure reference. Devil Dice. Okay, Devil Dice. Let me try gameplay. Yeah, because this is a PS1 game, and a PS1 is before my time. Because I know y'all swear to God that I'm ancient and human in dog years, but I swear I'm not. Yeah, this game does not look familiar. I've never touched this game a day in my life. What the fuck do you even do? What's the objective? Let me hit the speed up button. Okay, I guess you roll around and you try and connect. I don't know if it's a competitive game or if it's co-op. I'm confused. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how the hell this game works. But yeah, I agree. There's a lot of niche games that are borderline lost to time, or games that were popular in their era and didn't leave their era. Like, I was just watching something earlier today where somebody was talking about Bloody Roar, and like, I've never played Bloody Roar a day in my life. I'm in the FGC, so I've heard of it at least, but I've never watched gameplay of it. I never like seen tournament play of it. Like, I've heard of Bloody Roar, and that's about it. Where was I? In fact, a very specific one with a whole room that's one tiny homage to the PS1 game, but it's just not available to buy anywhere, legally of course. Okay, fine. This one was technically made by THQ, but did you know who helped on it? One of the best studios to ever existed, the original home of Team Asobi, Japan studio. Ooh. Oh, that's probably why I got a reference, because it's something they worked on. You'll find plenty of fun references to plenty of Japan Studios library, from titles it developed all by itself to some like Devil Dice it just helped out on. There's also Boku as a cameo from the Japan only blah 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 blah, A Beautiful Game, or Vibri. Okay, he's just naming references and giving examples. I respect that. Sure, not all of those games are going to be for, what the fuck is this? Sure, not all those games are going to be for everyone, but they should be available to everyone, just so they can at least say that it's not for them. Fair. He's basically saying that everybody should get a chance to play the game and like play it for themselves. And if you don't like it after playing it, that's fine, that's cool. Not everybody has to like everything, but at least you got the chance to play it. A lot of people don't have the chance to play it without jumping through a lot of hoops, is basically what he's saying. I agree. Sure, not all these games are going to be, no, I read that. I'd even say that the cloud streaming versions of PS3 games isn't really making them available. True, because what happens when PlayStation inevitably decides that it just isn't worth it? Is shitty, laggy cloud streaming really? Yeah, that's actually how the article puts it. Shitty. Is shitty, laggy cloud streaming really how we want the next generation to play Eco, the other most influential game besides Zelda on Dark Souls? Oh, on Dark Souls. All right, he specified that. That's fair, because there's a lot of games that require like Twitch reactions and stuff like that, require you to be able to react fast. So playing it basically online over the internet on some Google Stadia type shit don't really work out for real.
Not to do that dumb shit.
Hold up. Don't really work out for real. There is so much that just isn't readily available for the younger generation to play. A subscription service with too many tiers and ridiculous limit, blah, 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 blah. Oh, yep. With too many tiers and ridiculous limits, we'll just send them straight back to Fortnite, which is facts. And yeah, Fortnite is a fun enough time, but it's still just Fortnite. Yes, I do know that I'm making an argument in favor of preservation here, an act that businesses will never care about because it's not very possible. No, it's very possible. It's just they don't feel like throwing the time and money at it because they feel like it won't give them the money they want. Like, for example, Capcom with Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Like, they had to put that game in a vault for it to even prospectively make a real amount of money that makes it worthwhile to keep up server infrastructure and whatnot for it. But maybe PlayStation just shouldn't have allowed someone to make a game showing people everything it doesn't have. I don't think it's always that deep. I don't think it's that deep as PlayStation hanging things over your head like, aha, look at this carrot you'll never get, look at this donut you'll never get. I think it's more a thing of like, over time, some things just fall out of relevancy. Because there's like, even early, I was mentioning Bloody Roar. Like, nobody plays that game now. Or even a game I was there to see the relevancy die for, Killer Instinct. It's not that Killer Instinct is a bad game. It's not that Killer Instinct is a game that nobody should play. It's not even a game with poor design choices. Killer Instinct just fell by the wayside. Last time we got a new Killer Instinct was like 2013, maybe 2015, the earliest. Okay, I feel sweat coming down my head. Yeah, let's turn this bitch on. 2016, maybe the earliest. I mean, the latest. And that game hasn't had like a balance change or update of any kind in like for fucking ever. So on top of the fact that it's not actively being supported, its community is small as hell, and there's no promise of a new game on the horizon or nothing like that. So that game is borderline. That game franchise is at minimum on ice. The scariest scenario is the game is just straight up dead, and that's sometimes, like I said, that's just a product of time passing. Some people may just not be interested in that anymore, and like maybe the way you launched it was fucked up, so that like took down some of your credibility and made people not want to play it. Give me 1 second, y'all. No, sometimes things just fall by the wayside. This I didn't want to go over too much. Basically, a bunch of requests that people who play Helldivers were requesting that the developers make were made. And the thing I wanted to say about it, the 2 cents I wanted to put in about this is like, yo, when I first heard they was nerfing stuff, one of the first things I said, in a game with no PvE, you should never ever have a nerf, and there should only be buffs and new additions. You know why I think they're doing this? Because a lot of their player base got the fuck off the game, and they're losing money day by day keeping this game up. That's what I think is happening. I think this game is suffering monetarily, so they're basically waving a proverbial carrot over people's head, taking the proverbial carrot that they were waving over people's heads and finally dropping it and letting them eat it. That's all I think was happening with that. I just wanted to give my 2 cents with that, and I just want to say, play Black Man from Kong. Yo, bro, I thought I banned those fucking words. God damn it, TikTok, your moderation is shit. Anyway, I don't play shit games that'll blow up my PS4 and melt my PC CPU. Anyway, like I was saying, NVIDIA CEO says AI now essential for graphics. This one, I just want to see the quote. "We can't do computer graphics anymore without artificial intelligence," he said. "We compute 1 pixel, we infer the other 32. It looks photorealistic and the image quality is incredible. The performance is incredible. AI has been criticized for its energy consumption, which is a fact. But Hung argued that using it for graphics can reduce energy use." Okay, let me hit it. Let me hear them out. "Computing 1 pixel takes a lot of energy." Sure, I guess. What? I thought that was interfacing, but let me see. What the hell does that mean? The act of processing. Oh, inferencing. Okay, this nigga basically made up a word. Inferencing, I don't know what the fuck that is. Inferring the other 32 takes very little energy and you can do it incredibly fast. Productivity gains from using these methods. Yeah, I thought there was gonna be more to this article. Yeah, but it's a big nothing burger ass article. Never mind. I was gonna talk about this, but I kinda don't care anymore. What I do care about is a Sims movie. Y'all trying to watch this Sims movie? Which, if you don't know who Margot Robbie is, yes you do. She starred as Harley Quinn in the Suicide Squad movie, and she was Barbie in a Barbie movie. I think this movie is going to fucking flop, and it's not going to carry the essence of the actual game. But let's read up a little bit about it. Let's see, because this article is not that long. Let's see what they talk about. A Sims movie from Amazon MGM Studios. Oh, right. Well, Amazon, they make some good stuff because Fallout was really good. So actually, the movie's in good hands, but The Sims is so hard to make a movie about it because the game has no plot, has no story to really work off of to make a movie about. So what the fuck are you gonna make a movie about? Anyway, let's read. One of the production companies that's on board is Margot Robbie's Lucky Chap. Okay, so maybe not her directly, but her company, which seems appropriate given that EA is looking to make an impact the size of something like a Barbie movie. Well, I got news for you, bro. Barbie had no set defined plot that they had to follow, so all they had to do was really be a creative movie and make references to real life Barbies. Don't put yourself in the same category, my nigga. Nobody's gonna say, oh, that's the character from Sims 3. Like, no, bro. Like, I feel like this is gonna be one of those trash ass movies. I'm calling it now. This is finna be one of those trash ass movies where the character leaps into the game and they gotta live out life in the game, or vice versa. And it's gonna be some bullshit ass Cat in the Hat type movie. There will be freezer bunnies. I'm sure a pool without a ladder is somewhere in there, but we haven't finalized any of those details. But that's the idea. Is to say that it lives within this space. It's all a nod to all of the amazing play creation and fun that we've had over the last 25 years. Meanwhile, EA provided updates on the Sim franchise as a whole. The company doesn't currently plan to release Sims 5, instead opting to focus on updating the Sims 4 for another 1,000 years. Yeah, I feel bad. There's certain fandoms that I feel really bad for, and the Sims fandom is one of them. Because the Sims fandom, they're like Nintendo fans and Monster Hunter fans. Everything that drops, good or bad, they're gonna eat it. Or even better, Pokemon fans. It don't matter what bullshit Nintendo and the Pokemon company slaps on that Pokemon plate, Pokemon fans will eat that shit up. While Sims 4 remain the core of EA series, What? Oh, EA is looking at expanding the franchise in other ways, including Project Renee, a cross-platform multiplayer. Who the fuck is trying to play multiplayer Sims? Like, what, nigga? And this article basically goes into what that one went into. Now, let's talk about a real game, y'all. Finally, a trailer. Oh, this is pre-alpha for Skate came out. Now, Skate, I don't really have a long-standing history with the Skate series or nothing like that, but I do remember playing Tony Hawk when I was younger and having fun on it. So maybe this could bring back those memories. Maybe this could get me into the game. Let's see what they talking about in this footage. Let's see what they doing. Let's see if they can convince me, someone who's too intimately familiar with, or what the fuck? Wait, whoa, hold on. That looks kind of platformery. That looks Assassin's Creed-y. If that's like a legitimate mechanic where like you can hop off the skateboard and platform, I might play this game for the platforming aspect. I don't know. That just seems interesting to me. That, and I might just set up courses for people to do, because I do like world creation and world building. All right, this is more so just an announcement trailer. Nothing too crazy. And the last bit of news I want to look at is I've been seeing a lot of people give this game press. I haven't seen any gameplay or anything of it, and I pretty much wanted to watch a review and see what this is about. I'm gonna watch some more reviews offline, but just for ease of access, I'm gonna watch this one.
Make a game so clearly inspired by Nintendo's acclaimed action-adventure series. I find that the puzzle design never quite reaches.
We'll watch this before we hop on Game of the Year.
Just playing Ocarina of Time or Link Between Worlds instead. But the Plucky Squire breaks that trend with a combination of clever brain teasers, simple but effective swordplay, and a courageous protagonist that would feel right at home in Hyrule. The adventure is held back by an overly wordy script and some serious pacing issues in its final act. But this debut developer all possible.
Basically, he said the ending is fucking trash.
Plucky Squire's elevator.
I like the art style of this game. The art style and the artistic influence of this game is pretty cool. Let's skip to the end part where he's giving a summary.
Each problem a joy to unpack. While genuinely funny at times, its wordy script often gets in the way of the action and occasionally spoils a puzzle.
It's a lot of yappage.
It also drags in its drawn-out final act.
Okay, basically he's complaining they give you too many hints. Basically they hold your hand the whole damn time and they baby you like, come here, little baby. Look, you see that bright yellow arrow? Walk over there and stand on that to figure out the puzzle. Basically, he's saying like the puzzles ain't challenging enough.
after it's already used up all its best ideas. But prior to that late stumble, the Plucky Squire
Ooh, so there's not a lot of gameplay variety.
game homages to classic video game genres and fun sections that take Jot outside of the pages of his story. For more colorful
I like the variety in the combat. It looks kind of cool.
classic video game genres and
I'm gonna be doing the same shit over and over, but
for more colorful, kid-friendly games, check out our reviews of Astrobot and Funko Fusion. And for everything else, stick with IGN.
Okay, this looks like a fun ass back burner game, like what Astrobot should have been. That being said, enough speaking on Astrobot. You know the ritual, we delete the bookmarks. And we hop on the game. Didn't have a lot of news today. I covered the news. Wow, I only covered the news in about 40 minutes, guys. Wow. There's gonna be one long ass video today. I still want to know what the hell is could the Sims movie possibly be about? I'll stand on what I said. That shit's probably gonna be ass out of 10. Let's hop on Astrobot, guys. Also, make sure you drinking some water. You dry lung bitches. Grab a cup of water and get the swallow and get the out this biscuit.